We're back with more guidance for turbulent times and low interest rate environments. This week, I'll teach about lifetime payment annuities. Hello everybody, I'm Telton Hall at Advanced Financial Planning in Cedar City, Utah, where our team helps upper middle class and affluent families accomplish their retirement goals. Prolonged low interest rates are a retirement game changer. So this is our 9th video now in a series designed to help address the most common questions and concerns and misconceptions around retiring in a low interest rate environment. So last time, we talked about fixed time period annuities, which typically have a much shorter time period, like 1 or 3 or maybe 5 years. And the insurance company guarantees the rate and the principal back at the end. Your money is technically accessible during those periods, but there's a surrender charge. So I suggest you think of those as non-accessible money with a little bit better rate than you might get in a more accessible FDIC account or ultra short-term bond account. But the reality is I swear there's a million types of quote-unquote annuities that are all very different, yet typical talking heads on the radio and TV, they have a tendency to lump them all together. I would much rather have you understand what the different types of annuities are and what they are not. So this week, I'll explain a lifetime payment annuity and how changes in interest rates have affected them. One thing to keep in mind here is what I'm not talking about today. So to be clear, a lifetime payment annuity or a fixed payment annuity is what I'll discuss today. It is not a variable annuity. Variable annuities have underlying investment sub-accounts that fluctuate. There's certainly a place for those, and they have also been affected by low interest rates, but I'll cover them in a totally different educational video. Also, I'm not talking about what's called an equity indexed annuity. Their crediting rates as well have been affected by this low interest rate environment, but we'll save that for a totally separate educational video. What I am talking about is a lifetime payment annuity. So in my opinion, they're pretty old school. When I was growing up in this little farming town, like these classic Chevy trucks, especially with the step side, they were considered the coolest thing. They were like the coolest thing next to floating down the river in a pair of cut-off jeans on an old patched up tractor tube. That was cool, that was fun. But step side Chevy trucks, the old version, they were even cooler. I still think those trucks are cool. And they have value for sure. But I have a lot of clients that when they retire, they want to pull these RV trailers all over the country as part of their retirement travel. I would not encourage them to buy a 57 Chev, even with the step side, for that purpose. There are modern vehicles that would be way better. It is the same with retirement vehicles. So I'll cover those potentially better vehicles in videos to come, but for now, I'd like you to understand how a traditional lifetime payment annuity works, because some of you will still have this type of annuity, even though it's old school, as part of your retirement plan, maybe without even realizing it. So here's how it works. You would put your retirement money into an annuity, and then either immediately or at some specified time in the future of the contract, it would annuitize. Annuitize means that you would start to get guaranteed payments every month or every year. And those payments, they would be guaranteed by the insurance company, and they would pay out for whatever the guaranteed period is. So when the period is over, for example, a life pay, it's going to end when you die, when your life ends. So then there are no more payments at that point from the annuity company. If it's a life pay annuity and you die before you have received all of the funds that went into the contract, the annuity company keeps the rest of the money. If you live longer and use up all the funds, then the insurance company is on the hook to keep paying you. I'm not suggesting that this is right or even wrong for you. My goal here is just to explain exactly how they work. The period that those payments pay out over can be your life, they can be your and your spouse's life, or maybe a set period like a 10-year or 20 years. Really, you get to decide. The basic concept is the longer the payment is guaranteed, then the less the payment is going to be. For example, a joint lifetime payment, that means that if you die, then the payment continues to your spouse. If you compare that to a single lifetime payment and versus a joint lifetime payment, the joint life's going to be lower because there's a higher likelihood that the joint lifetime is going to pay out longer than the single life pay. The longer the guarantee payment, the lower the monthly income. That's not to say that because the payment's lower that I'm opposed to joint lifetime payments. In fact, I'm a huge proponent of those. Surprisingly, I feel like I have to encourage spouses to not leave their loved one high and dry if they die, just to get a higher income while one of them is alive. We all want to die together, but we also know that that doesn't actually happen. So let's review these concepts and the effect of this low interest rate environment that we're in on these annuities. Let me give you a real life example. I help a lot of clients retire from universities and colleges. As a firm, we have focused expertise on helping educators and healthcare professionals. It's truly our passion. Blessing those who have blessed society, it's wonderful. So in this case, a lot of higher ed folks have accounts through TIAA, and TIAA is one part of the insurance and investment marketplace that still use traditional annuitized annuities. Keep in mind you don't have to go that route. So we help manage a lot of clients' TIAA accounts, and there has been a major shift in the last 10 years. The previous generation was pretty comfortable with this traditional annuity approach. For example, like the Federal Employees Retirement System and many of your state systems, they're older systems, they do not offer lump sums, so your only option is that you get a lifetime annuity payment. But if you get hit by a bus, the day after or a year or 2 years down the road, then those unused funds revert back to the company. Previous generations, they seem to be okay with that, even 10, 12 years ago. The baby boomers, on the other hand, you're a different breed. You want secure retirement income, but if you die early, then you want to know that that unused money, that it's going to your children or to your favorite charities, some kind of beneficiary. So that is very much the planning and the strategies that we have developed and that we provide to help people not have to annuitize. The problem is that there is still an information gap where people in, for instance, TIAA often don't realize that they have other options. Okay, getting back to our story. Back in 2008, some of my clients, they wanted a portion of their TIAA account in a true blue, old school joint lifetime annuity. I'm going to use some round numbers and just some general figures to give you an idea of joint life versus single life payouts, and I'm going to compare those payouts that were in 2008 before the market crash, which was a higher interest rate environment, versus now in a much lower interest rate environment. I'm going to use ballpark round numbers because this is just meant to be illustrative of these concepts. So in this case, clients needed and they wanted an additional $2,600 a month of joint lifetime income. So they directed around $490,000 of their TIA money towards the TIA joint lifetime annuity. In comparison, if they had gone with a single life annuity, that same dollar amount, it would have generated around $3,200 a month in income. $2,600 versus $3,200. So you can see that there is about a 20% reduction, in this case, in order to cover 2 lives. That number of reduction, it's going to change based on the company and the ages of the clients, but at least gives you a general idea. One of the things that we'll want to do when we meet is run multiple scenarios for how to maximize your pensions and your lifetime payments over your life, if you're single, and over both life expectancies for a couple. Now, let's compare that $3,200 a month number in early 2008 higher interest rate environment to today's much lower interest rate environment. Using the same age, the same dollar amount, the same company to try to keep things apples to apples, if you started this same annuity right now, today's monthly payment estimate would be $2,700 a month versus $3,200 a month. To get from $2,700 to $3,200, it's more than an 18% increase, meaning to get the same amount of retirement income, had you retired previously, in today's environment, you need 18% more funds going into that contract to try to get the same level of income. That's one more reason that low interest rates for retirees are a game changer. Now, we have some strategies to help mitigate this. We'll cover those in some upcoming videos. For now, stay with us. Can you imagine what you're learning? You're gonna be a genius. Or better yet, let us do all the work and make sure you're on the right track. Whether you're wanting to retire, you're retired and you still have some retirement accounts sitting there, or you need to update your current retirement plan for this new interest rate world, we'd love to help you make the most of it. Give us a call for a second opinion. We will talk to you soon.
If this information has been helpful to you, check out our other Telton's Tips videos, or better yet, call our office. You can talk to an advanced financial planning team member like me. Imagine that, a real life human that cares about you and your goals. My name is Caden Keller. I work here as a financial advisor along with Telton and the rest of the team. Here, we take a team approach to caring for our clients because we all know 2 heads are better than 1. So give our office a call and I or anyone else on the team would be happy to answer a quick question for you or schedule a complimentary retirement planning meeting. There's also a link provided if you would like to learn more about who we are at Advanced Financial Planning or what it is we do for our clients in planning for their retirement. Lastly, the schedule an appointment link will bring up our calendar and you can choose a time for a complimentary on the phone or an in-person retirement planning meeting. Whichever option you choose, the only mistake is to do nothing and keep working and putting retirement preparation off until you die at your desk. I've seen it time and time again. No matter how good and specialized Telton and I are, when people wait too long to seriously consider their retirement options, they're significantly set back and can damage their retirement. So call, schedule, or click to learn more. You've got nothing to lose and your future self in retirement has a whole lot to gain.